Hello and welcome into the channel. I am Craig. This is the RNGIDP channel. Sorry for messing with my camera there. It was a little bit off, but I think it's better now. I think you can see up at the top now. Alright, so we are here for another Game Day 15 matchup. Tonight it will be a juicy one. I am looking forward to this one. As soon as I put the schedule together for the game day, I was like, well, this is going to be the best game of the day. So looking forward to it. I hope you're having a good Mardi Gras. It's probably over for you. Almost over here for me. About 10 o'clock Mountain Time here. So looking forward to this game. Looking forward to a good holiday tomorrow. And so I'll say it from the start here. There will not be a stream tomorrow, Wednesday, Ash Wednesday. And so won't be doing a stream tomorrow to observe the holiday, and we'll be back at it hopefully on Thursday. But yes, we will be having a good game tonight, and then we will wrap up game day 15 for the KL shortly thereafter. 2 games left here. This is our 2015 randomized league. We are in the KL and in game day 15 of 30. And we're almost at the halfway point. Now, I mentioned it on Twitter earlier in the day. I just was looking at the stats because I'm a stat guy, and I have my Excel spreadsheet where I've compiled all this league, all of their stats, and I was looking at them, and I was figuring out how I could make this, how I can make it feel more, I don't know, like real numbers. I know in a 28-game season, in 30 game days, it would be tough to make any kind of sense of these numbers. And so I know it's a little stretch to extrapolate that small a sample size to the full season, but it works out pretty well. If I multiply the 28, once we're done here with our 28 games, if we multiply that number, whatever the stat is, by 5.75, it works out to be like about 161 games. So it's pretty much dead on. And so if we take the pace, I guess you should say, per game, and then you extrapolate it to 28 games, and then you can do it to 162. I was looking at the game last night, and David Peralta is up to 5 triples now, and he's at 14 games, so that's exactly halfway. If he hit 10 triples in 28 games, that's about a 57 pace for triples. So I know it's a little crazy, and he's not gonna. I doubt he hits 10 triples the rest this season, but that's pretty fun to kind of see where it would be if he kept up that pace for all 162. Al Red Sox fan checking in. Hello and welcome in. Happy that you're happy that you're here tonight. This is going to be a good one. Pittsburgh at Milwaukee. Let's get on to the game. And I was rambling about some stats there a second ago. It's interesting to me. If you want to know more about that, if you want to do some extrapolations of your own, all the stats are there on the bottom. I've got links in the description, and feel free, have at it. And also tweet me the results if you find something interesting. But Pittsburgh, they will travel to Milwaukee tonight. Pittsburgh's 11-2 and sitting number 1 in the KL right now. They are destroying people and dominating these games. They've got a plus 40 run differential, which is crazy compared to everybody else. Pittsburgh, in their last game, beat Philadelphia, and now they've won 5 in a row. And they travel to Milwaukee tonight, who has a 1-game winning streak of their own. They beat San Diego in their last game. San Diego is a pretty good team. They're sitting in 7th right now. So a good win for Milwaukee at home in game day 14, and they will have a tough matchup here against Pittsburgh, especially given that Milwaukee is without one of their better hitters, and Joey Votto went down. It was either last game or 2 games ago, and he will continue to be out for tonight's ball game. So we'll see who takes his place here shortly. But let's take a look at the pitcher for Milwaukee, and that will be Mike Fultonowicz. Mike Fultonowicz. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. I watched an interview with him earlier before the show, and he pronounced it a couple times, and the announcer pronounced it a couple times, and I said it right exactly after I heard it, but since then I've kind of forgotten, and so hopefully Fultinovich does the job. Anyway, he's had one start this season. He went 4 innings, took a loss, gave up 9 hits, 5 earned runs. He struck out 3 and walked 3, so his name is harder to pronounce than his fastball is working this season. He'll look to turn it around, but he'll have to do it against the best team in the league in Pittsburgh. And let's get to the lineup for Pittsburgh tonight. It's pretty much the same thing as it's been all season. They've been pretty lucky with injuries. They've been pretty lucky with being able to hit the ball, so it's working. And why mess with it? And so this will be how it looks. D. Gordon will be leading off and playing second. D. Gordon, the speedster, atop the lineup. He's hitting .386, a double, a triple, and a homer, and 3 RBIs. He also leads the KL with 12 stolen bases. Didi Gregorius is a lefty, back-to-back lefties in the lineup. He's hitting second, and playing short. He's hitting .231. He's got a pair of doubles, a triple, and a homer to him for himself there with 5 RBI. Michael Brantley, another lefty. 3 straight lefties to start the lineup. He's playing in left field. Brantley is at 196 right now, although he does have 10 RBIs. That's second on the team. Adam Jones is the cleanup man and playing center field. Adam Jones is hitting .237. He only has 1 extra base hit, and that's a double. So we need to get his bat going. Kendrys Morales, though, on the other hand, has been doing pretty much all the work. Kendrys Morales is hitting .413, which is good for second in the league. He is, if there's anybody on a Triple Crown watch, it's Kendrys Morales. He's third in batting average. He's hit, let me look at the stats here. He's hit 5 home runs. The league leader has 7. And he has 20 RBIs so far in 13 games. That is by far the league leader. So Morales is destroying the ball, and hitting behind him will be Sin-Chu Chu, the right fielder. Chu is hitting .273. 3 doubles and a homer for him. Yunel Escobar drops to the 7th spot. He's the third baseman. He's 9 for 26 so far. And the catcher will be Andrew Susak. Al Alvila is injured right now, but he was a backup anyway, and so Andrew Susak will be catching. And the pitcher is Nick Martinez for Pittsburgh. He's one of those weird pitchers that throws it righty and hits left-handed. So he's a weak-hitting left-handed batter. So I think we're ready to roll here. Mike Fultinovich is ready to throw out his first pitch. I may just proceed to calling him Fulty. That's what we did in my fantasy league this season. But we'll see how this goes. And I think we're ready here. Al Red Sox fan is here and ready to start this ball game. Like I said, I've been looking forward to this one for a while. And D. Gordon will get things started here with a bouncer to third base, and any play on the ground is going to be tough against this speedy D. Gordon. And the third baseman, Josh Donaldson, is going to have to make a good play. Luckily, he's a good third baseman, and he is a 1 range. We rolled a 4, so he's going to charge it. It was a little dribbler out into the grass and in front of Donaldson, and he scoops it and fires it quickly over to first. And that is Ryan Zimmerman at first base today, who is patrolling the bag in the stead of Joey Votto. Joey Votto and Ryan Zimmerman have really traded time today, this season anyway. Gordon, why do I keep saying Gordon? Votto is a lefty, and he's been playing most of the time because against righties he gets matched up. And Zimmerman has been playing against the lefties, but with Votto out, Zimmerman is now the full-time first baseman. And with one away here, Foltynewicz pitches to Gregorius, and Gregorius works a walk. So Gregorius setting the table here for the big boppers, and one of them will be up now. It's Michael Brantley. Gregorius is a D-stealer on his card. For a 14 speed, that's kind of interesting. Maybe he just doesn't steal very much. And this is a shortstop X chance. Will they be able to turn two? Escobar is the man at short, and he's a 3-range shortstop. A 315 is a ground ball B, so Escobar makes a nice play and throws it low in the dirt to the second baseman, Flores. Flores picks it out, but he's not going to be able to make the play to throw to first, so Brantley will make it to first base on a fielder's choice. Not an error, but could have turned two, but a better throw would have made it. And now there's two down. Brantley at first. Brantley is a pretty good stealer. He's an A stealer. So let's take a look at the catcher's arm. The catcher is James McCann for Milwaukee, and he's a -2 arm. So they are going to hold Michael Brantley. So that would be a 1-15 cut down to a 1-13, and then even further to a 1-11. So Brantley's not going anywhere. Adam Jones is at the plate. He's been struggling somewhat, and he's patient there, and he draws a walk. So a 2-out walk for Jones, and that'll move Brantley to scoring position at second. And there's 2 men on for Kendrys Morales, and this is definitely not what Foltynewicz really wanted to see here. He put himself in this position, though. And will he be able to get out of it? It's a 2-6. That was a 3, I promise. A 2-6, and he doesn't want any part of Kendrys Morales. And it's back-to-back walks. And that will load the bases in the first inning here. Just getting underway. And Foltynewicz is having another rough start. He hasn't given up a run yet, but Pittsburgh and that vaunted offense are threatening. And now it'll be Shin Soo Choo, the right fielder. It's a lefty batter. It's a 6-8, and Foltynewicz gets him to strike out to end the threat and end the top half here of the first inning without giving a run up. Well, I guess that's one way to go about the heart of the order, is just to walk everybody. He walked Gregorius, Jones, and Morales. And I guess if you keep doing that all game and you keep getting Shin Soo Choo out, then that's one strategy. We'll see if that'll work for Foltynewicz. But now we move to the bottom side, and Nick Martinez takes the mound for Pittsburgh. Nick Martinez has pitched pretty well, surprisingly, in his, I believe he's made 2 starts. Let me check his numbers. Yes, he has. He's gone 14 2/3 innings. He's got a 1-0 record. He's given up 11 hits, only 2 earned runs in that almost 15 innings. He struck out 9 and walked only 2. That equates to a 1.23 ERA, and his whip is comfortably under 1 at 0.89. So this is the lineup that will face the Pittsburgh Rattatas pitcher, Nick Martinez. Milwaukee, they scored 7 runs in their last game. The Bats came alive. As a team, they're hitting .263 right now, so they can hit the ball. Milwaukee, they will lead off with Starling Marte. He's hitting .321 on the season with 4 doubles and a pair of home runs as well. And he leads the team with 4 stolen bases. Behind him will be the lefty Adam Eaton, and playing center field is Eaton. He's up to .349 on the batting average right now. He's got a double, 2 triples, a homer, 5 driven in, and only is 1 behind Marte for the stolen base lead. at 3 on the team. Josh Donaldson has been struggling with the stick. He's 224 right now. He's got 3 doubles and a pair of homers, but that RBI number is pretty low for a number 3 hitter, and he is at 5 so far. Ryan Zimmerman we talked about, and he's batting cleanup. He's 7 of 19 in his limited time. He's got a double and also 4 home runs, which is tied for the team lead. He's got 9 RBIs to go with those as well. Wilmer Flores is the second baseman. I believe he's the only carded second baseman we have on this squad, so he pretty much has to play every game. He's hitting .231 right now with a homer and 4 runs driven in. Eduardo Escobar is the shortstop. He's right at 200. That's 11 for 55. He does have 5 doubles, though, and 7 RBI. Tyler Collins, the lefty right fielder. And Collins is hitting pretty good at 288 with a pair of doubles and a homer. He does have 8 RBI as well for the 7th spot. And hitting 8th is James McCann, the catcher. McCann is hitting .152 at the moment. He's got 7 hits in 46 at-bats. 3 of those are extra base hits, though. And McCann has yet to register a run driven in. He struck out 11 times as well with no walks. And Mike Fultonevich is the pitcher. He's a weak hitting right-handed pitcher. Jerry Ball checking in here as we get started in the bottom of the first. Milwaukee up to bat. These are the 2 best teams in the KL. I keep mentioning it because they've been both really good so far this season. And looking forward to a good game here. Pittsburgh threatened in the top side of the first, and Fultonevich wiggles out of it. And now it'll be Nick Martinez to face Starling Marte. Marte gets the pitch, and that's a ballpark single chance, and that's going to sneak on through out into left field, and that will be a leadoff single for Marte. Marte is an ace stealer. And so we'll take a look at the catching arm of Andrew Susak, and it's going to be green light for everybody. It's a +2 arm. They are going to have to hold Starling Marte. It's a 1 to 15 chance, but being held, it's a -2, and his arm is a +2. So it's back to 1 to 15, and those are pretty good odds. So Starling Marte gets a good lead. Martinez throws back to hold him close, but on the very next time that Martinez gets onto the mound, Starling Marte is back to that big lead. And Marte is going to run a 1 to 15, and he makes it. It's a 5, so he's easily under the tag. And Marte swipes second base easily. So now Eaton's at the plate. And Marte moves over to scoring position. And Eaton trying to advance him to third here. And it's a 4-10. This is going to be a ballpark single chance. So the lefty hits one to the right side, and it does not get through the second baseman, D. Gordon, who makes a fine play, jumping to make the grab. That's going to be a line out to second base, and there's 1 out. Al Red Sox fan had a fight tonight. I must have missed that. I didn't see that on my subscriptions. I'm going to have to go check that out after my game here. And you should too. And now Josh Donaldson, he's got a chance with the man out there at second. He's struggled so far this season. This might get him some confidence to drive this run home. But he's not going to get a chance. Donaldson draws a walk. Just not really feeling all that comfortable at the bat, and couldn't get the bat off his shoulder. Luckily, Nick Martinez was nibbling the corners and not getting the calls. So now Ryan Zimmerman with men on first and second against the righty Nick Martinez. And this will be a bouncer over to short. Gregorius has it quickly over to Gordon, and Gordon to Morales. It is a 6-4-3 double play, which will end the inning and get Martinez out of trouble. And we are clean through the first. It's a 0-0 ball game. Pittsburgh and Milwaukee trading jabs in the first. How do you like that, Al, Red Sox fan? Trading jabs, feeling each other out, dancing around the ring, seeing who's going to bite first. And we move to the top of the second. And the second round starts, and Fultinovich will pitch to Escobar. Escobar in the 7th spot today, and he grounds one to third. That's Josh Donaldson. He's going to make a nice play and fire it to first, and there's one quickly down. Al Red Sox fan loved it. I'm not much of a boxing aficionado anymore. I was, at one point I followed it pretty closely, but maybe I should dive back in. Andrew Susak now, the catcher. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters here in the top of the second. And this is a 5. How about now? Can you hear me now? I think you guys are, can you hear me now? How about that? I'm not sure what was going on with my my software there, but you should be able to hear me now. Hopefully it's sounding the same as it was before. Yep, okay, I think we're good now. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My OBS software that I used to record, or not record, to stream, just crashed or died on me or something. I don't know. I unplugged my mic and then plugged it back in, and it seems like it's working. So, all right. Sorry for the delay. We had a technical delay. We are in the top of the second. D. Gordon will face Matt Fultinovich. Andrew Susak is at second, ready to roll here. And I see that Ken Castro is in the live chat now, so I think we are good. This is the same thing as a whiteout. Well, maybe it's like in spring training when they have all the bugs and the bugs come swarming in. This will be D. Gordon. This is a ballpark single chance, so probably, I think, the fourth one of those tonight so far. And this one is going to get snagged by the second baseman as well. So Flores putting in some good defensive work and keeps Andrew Susak right there at second, and that will end the top of the second. And we move to the bottom. Nick Martinez will face the 5, 6, 7 batters of Flores, Escobar, and Collins. Yeah, OBS has been pretty good for me. I've used it for lots of different applications, but sometimes it just decides it doesn't want to work. And this was one of those times. Luckily, we didn't lose video this time. Flores now. It's a 6-6. That's going to be a bouncer over to third. Escobar picks it cleanly and wings one over to first. And there's one out. Eduardo Escobar is the batter, and he will face Nick Martinez. Escobar is hitting from the left side. This one's a fly ball out to center. Andrew Jones is going to have to make a run for it. Andrew Jones is a pretty good fielder. He's a center field #1. I'd say that's better than pretty good. That's excellent. 118 is going to be an easy play for the smooth, gliding center fielder, Andrew Jones. Not Andrew. Andrew Jones would have made the play too, but Adam Jones makes it this time. And now Tyler Collins with 2 quick outs here. And the lefty sees a pitch, and he hits it back out to Jones. This one's going to be a much easier play. And he squeezes it, and that'll be a quick 1, 2, 3 inning for Nick Martinez. And we reach the top of the third. Jerry is rooting for Pittsburgh tonight. What about the rest of the chat? You going for Pittsburgh, or you going for the underdog Milwaukee? How about you watching after the fact? Who you going for? Write it in the comments. Didi Gregorius will lead off the top of the third here. It's a 3-9, and look at all that black ink, but Gregorius, he swings and misses, and that's going to be a strikeout. That's the second one of the ball game for Fultonevich. All right, we got Ken Castro checking in for Milwaukee. Michael Brantley now, lefty, against Fultonevich. And Brantley draws a walk. So Fultonevich is starting up that strategy again that he had in the first inning of just not even dealing with the middle of the order, just walking them all. He walked Gregorius, Jones, and Morales in the first inning, and he, in the second with 1 out, has walked Brantley. Brantley's an ace stealer, and he's not going to go. Adam Jones is going to swing away here. This is a walk. Well, I was kind of kidding when I said that Fultonevich was going to do this strategy of walking people, but I guess that's what he's doing. Now Red Sox fans saying go Pittsburgh. So we've got 2 Pittsburghs and a Milwaukee. And now it's Kendrys Morales, who walked with 2 men on in the first inning. He's got 2 men on here. He's the RBI leader in the KL. What will he do this time? Well, this time he's going to drive home a run. That's going to be a single up the middle. And Brantley, with his good speed, is going to round third, and he will score. Adam Jones is speedy as well, and he will make it over to third. So all these walks not paying off, and Foltynewicz has broken and given up a run here in the third inning. And wouldn't you know it, it's to the RBI leader, Kendrys Morales, who gets the party started here. And it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. Foltynewicz isn't going to be long for this game if he keeps giving up walks. And there's another single. Shin-Soo Choo hits one to the same spot. And Adam Jones will score. Morales got a good read on it. He's not a great runner, but he will end up on third. And it's 2-0. Shin-Soo Choo drives home a run. And Foltynewicz, who struggled in his first outing of the season, only going 4 innings. I don't know if he's going to make it that far this time. He has 1 out here in the top of the third, already given up 2 runs. 4 straight batters have reached. There's men on the corners, and it's Yunel Escobar. This is a 3-6. This one's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Eaton is going to make the catch. Will Morales tag up. Eaton has a 0 arm. And let's take a look at Morales. He's a 1-9 runner. So it would be a 1-9, a 1-11 if he tries to take home. And he's not going to test the arm. So that's just going to be a fly out to center field, and there's 2 outs now. Walks will haunt you, says Jerry Ball, and well, they have so far against Foltynewicz. Andrew Susak now, who doubled his first time up. That was the first hit against Foltynewicz. Since then, he's given up 2 singles to Morales and Choo, both RBI singles. Now there's 2 outs. Morales didn't go in the hopes that Susak can bring him home. And Susak hits one, but he chops it over to short. Escobar picks it up and has plenty of time to fire to first to get the slow running catcher. And that will end the threat here. So all things considered, giving up 2 runs, probably not the worst that could have happened to Foltynewicz. And it's a 2-0 ball game. Pittsburgh leads Milwaukee as we move to the bottom of the third. And Nick Martinez jogs out to the mound, and he will face the 8, 9, and 1 batters. McCann, maybe Foltynewicz, and Marte. That's a 1-6, and McCann swings and he misses, and that's a strikeout. That's the first one on the day for Martinez. And what do we do here with Foltynewicz? Let's take a look at the bullpen for Milwaukee. They've got some arms, so we're gonna piece this thing together. They are gonna pinch hit for the pitcher here in the bottom of the third, and they have a deep bench to be able to do this with. But they're not going to waste all of it. They're going to go with Travis Jankowski just to try and get somebody on base. So Foltynewicz doesn't even get an at-bat before giving up his spot in the order. And it will be Travis Jankowski. A quick hook here for the Milwaukee manager. But he's seen enough. Foltynewicz isn't really fooling anybody. And he's pinch hit for in the third. Jankowski is a lefty. His 1 column against the righties is pretty good, but this is on the pitcher's card, and it is a... this is on the wrong side, isn't it? And that is going to be good. So Jankowski's going to get a hit here. How far will it fly? That is going to be a bouncer onto the outfield off the wall, and that will be a double for the speedster Jankowski. So a pinch hit double, and Milwaukee has something brewing here. You see what I did there? Starling Marte now, who singled in the bottom of the first, and he's got a duck on the pond there at second.
And it's a 1-7. This one's lifted out to left field. Brantley tracking it and closes his glove on it. And there's 2 away. Now it will be Adam Eaton with 2 outs, the lefty. Nick Martinez with a man on second. That's the pinch hitter Jankowski. And this is a 2-5, and that's going to be a single out to center. Even with the good jump being 2 outs, Jankowski's only going to be able to get to third, and he'll have to stop there. Higher Ground Gaming says, "Hola, Craig," and "Oh, what's up?" Happy to have you here, Higher Ground Gaming. I am the prince on puns. Yeah, I'm a pun guy. It just is. I annoy all my co-workers with my puns. Sometimes a little too much. Now Josh Donaldson, the big bat of Donaldson, would do well to be to get going here and get hot. Donaldson walked in the first inning, but he's got men on first and third, and this looks good. It is a ballpark home run chance, and in Milwaukee, this ball is gonna fly. A 1-16, and it is up and out, and it's a 7. So Donaldson with a 3-run shot deep into the night, and the home crowd goes wild as Milwaukee with a 2-out homer here, Josh Donaldson. And that was much needed for not only Milwaukee, but Josh Donaldson for sure needed that confidence boost, and he pumps his fists as he rounds the bases. Jankowski got this thing started with a pinch hit, and now that decision made by the manager looks a whole lot better to pinch hit for Fultinovich. And Milwaukee strikes against Pittsburgh, and we have ourselves a ball game. It'll be Ryan Zimmerman who ended the first on a double play, and he's up with 2 outs now against Nick Martinez. And it's a grounder to second. That's D. Gordon, who's pretty slick out in there in the field. That's a second base. He's a 1 range. A 1-16 is going to be a fine play made by Gordon. Makes it look easy. Didn't even get his high socks dirty. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning here. But not before Milwaukee. They find the score sheet themselves, and it's a 3-2 ball game here. And now we need to find ourselves a pitcher. And let's take a look at the bullpen. So we need to piece this one together. The bullpen's going to have to go 6 innings. And we will start by calling on Brandon Pinder. And Brandon Pinder gets the call out of the bullpen. And he will face the pitcher, and then back up to the top of the order for Gordon and Gregorius. So before I get to Brandon Pinder's number, talk amongst yourselves as I tally up Mike Fultinovich's numbers here. He went 3 innings. He gave up only 3 hits. That wasn't the problem. It was the walks that were the problem. He struck out 2 batters, and he walked 5 batters. So the manager had seen enough. And now Brandon Pinder makes his way out of the bullpen. I don't believe he's been used very much, but we'll take a peek at his numbers just to see. He's gone 3 2/3 innings, no record. He's given up 8 hits, 5 earned runs, only 1 strikeout and 3 walks. So he's going to have to get those numbers a little better here, and he will start with the pitcher spot, and that's Nick Martinez. And he leads it off with a strikeout. The pitcher swung on a ball that was in the dirt, And he makes his way back to the dugout with his head in his tail. His head between his legs, that's what I was trying to say. And now D. Gordon. D. Gordon's 0 for 2, which is uncharacteristic of him. And now he's 1 for 3, because that's going to be a single out into left field. And Gordon now is aboard. And Gordon, you know he's got the green light anytime he wants to steal. He's a double-A stealer. He leads the KL in steals. And I know I've looked twice, but I'm going to look again. McCann is a -2 arm. So it's a 1 to 17. They are holding him, so it's a -2 and a -2. So that's a 1 to 13 chance. Gregorius is not a great hit and run man. He's only a D hit and run. So Gordon is going to hold off for now. And this is a 3-6. That's going to be a single out to right field. And will Gordon stretch it into a get to third? Gordon is a 1 to 17 runner. The right fielder is Tyler Collins. He's a +1 arm, so it'd be a 1 to 18. They were holding him, so it's a 1 to 17. So D. Gordon is going to try and go. 1 to 17, and he makes it. And he will make it to third base easily. So runners now at the corners. Gregorius and Gordon doing what they do. Getting on base, causing havoc with their speed. And now Michael Brantley with men on first and third. He's a pretty good runner himself. There are some A's on that card though, so they're going to play the infield back, hoping for the double play. And so the 5-8 against the lefty, that's going to be a strikeout. Brantley saw a good pitch there to hit, but swung over the top of it. And there's 2 outs now here in the top of the 4th. Pittsburgh is threatening here. They've threatened before. And now it'll be Adam Jones, who's walked his both appearances up at the plate. And with 2 outs here, the infield is regular depth. And this is a 3-8, and that's going to be a single punched out to left field. D. Gordon will score. Gregorius is going to stop at second. But Adam Jones comes through, and he punches home the tying run. It's a 3-3 ball game. So this turning out to be the close game, the good game we all hoped for. And guess who's up now? That's Kendrys Morales, who it feels like he was just up, doesn't it? We're moving right along here, and now Morales with 2 outs, men on first and second. He's a switch hitter, and he draws a walk. So Pinder really didn't want anything to do with Kendrys Morales. And now it's up to Chu again. Chu has driven home a run. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. And against the righty Pinder, that is going to be a strikeout. So Pinder, he actually ends up striking out the side, but he did give up a run, the tying run, and so Pittsburgh grabs one back. We move to the bottom of the 4th, and it's a 3-3 ball game. Nick Martinez will come back out to face the 5, 6, 7 batters of Flores, Escobar, and Collins. And we've got Wilmer Flores at the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And he's going to be 1 for 2, and that's going to be a single. And he hits one, lifts one out to center field, and it plops out in front of Adam Jones. That's a leadoff single for Milwaukee. And all of a sudden, the bats just started flying here, and men are reaching base. And now Eduardo Escobar is the man to face Martinez. He's a lefty. Well, for this at-bat he is. And he dribbles one to second base. Gordon has to charge hard at it. He makes a sidearm throw to Gregorius, and Gregorius jumps and makes a strong throw over to Morales. And that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So a nice, you could say a better than nice play from Gregorius to charge, or from Gordon to charge on that ball to make the strong throw to Gregorius while he was falling down. And Gregorius, in turn, made a nice jumping throw over to first. So the leadoff single is erased, and Martinez now deals with Tyler Collins. And this one is lifted out to right field. Chu barely has to move, and that's a 1-2-3, kind of a 1-2-3 inning. So Milwaukee can't score, and that way we move to the top of the fifth. And once again, it's time for me to tell you about the Rank 'Em Up podcast. It's my favorite time of the stream, because I get to tell you about all the cool things we're doing on this podcast, me and my buddies Lilo and Don. Each week, well, it used to be each week, we make lists and we bring them to the recording and we argue about them, about why each one of us are wrong. So in the past, we have covered such topics as board games, chocolate candies, websites we visit daily, things we do with $1 million. This one's a good one, our top 5 beers, and so much more. So if you think that sounds like a good idea, head on over to their Twitter page at Rank 'Em Up, or find them on any of your favorite podcast apps. That's the Rank 'Em Up podcast. All right, so we move to the top of the fifth, Yunel Escobar, and it will not be Brandon Pinder. They're going to piecemeal this thing together. They're going to go get... wow, they've got some good arms out there. So it will be... Where did I just found that card. It'll be Brian Shaw. So Brian Shaw is going to come out here in the fifth to just try and keep this thing exactly where it is at the moment. So Pinder goes an inning, and excuse me, he goes an inning. He gives up 1, 2, 3 hits, gives up a run, and 3 strikeouts, and he walks a batter. And now Brian Shaw makes his way out here to face Yunel Escobar. And it's a 4-10, or excuse me, a 4-11. That's going to be a ballpark single chance. And that one's going to be snagged by the shortstop to start off the inning here. Escobar hits one to his opposite number. That is Escobar. No wonder I was getting confused. Escobar is playing third base for Pittsburgh and shortstop for Milwaukee. I kept looking at that sideways. I'm like, why is Escobar hitting? So he lines out to short, and that's Escobar. Andrew Susak now. I'm going to have to remember not to put that card in that pile, that card in that pile, and that pile, and that pile. If you see me doing that, yell at me, all right? You guys be my watchdogs here. Andrew Susak is 1 for 2 with a double today. And against the new pitcher, Brian Shaw, he dribbles one over to second. Wilmer Flores is going to have to make the play. He's been pretty good out there in the field today. He's made a few of those jumping catches on ballpark single chances. And he's a 4-range second baseman, a 4-15. He's going to be a nice play. He goes out into the outfield grass and makes a nice sliding grab and fires it over to first with plenty of time. So now it'll be Nick Martinez. Jerry Ball, he says his favorite beer is ice cold and free. Preach on, Jerry Ball. You ain't never told a lie on that one. And now Nick Martinez will hit for himself here with 2 outs, nobody on. He's a lefty, and that's going to be lifted out to left field, short left field. And Marte comes in on it. And that's a 1-2-3 inning, just what the doctor ordered for Milwaukee. And that will be the end of the top of the 5th. 3-3 ball game here as we continue. Nick Martinez will face the 8-9-1 batters of McCann, a likely pinch hitter, and then Marte. Martinez has gotten McCann to strike out in his first at-bat, and McCann hits one softly to Gordon. He snags it on a couple of hops, and he wings it over to first, and there's one out. And let's see here. We have on our bench for Milwaukee, we have the available hitters of Melvin Upton Jr., Trevor Plouffe, and Evan Longoria. Sucre is our backup catcher, so I'm probably not going to use him. He's not an option at this point, so we could use Melvin Upton Jr. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that? We'll pinch hit and try and get something started here with Melvin Upton Jr. So he will be the second pitch hitter for the pitcher spot today. Pinch hitting here in the 5th. And he will see the pitch from Martinez, and that's a 1-11, and he grounds one over to Gordon, and that's where balls go to die. And this one does too, and now there are 2 outs. And Starling Marte, he's 1 for 2 on the day. He also has a stolen base. And he puts a hit into this one. How far will it fly? It's going to be way out there into center field. And that one is going to be way gone. Starling Marte with a 2-out shot. And Milwaukee goes back on top. A 2-run homer, or excuse me, a 2-out homer for Starling Marte. Milwaukee's, both of their run-scoring plays have come on home runs. Josh Donaldson hit a 3-run bomb in the 3rd. And now Marte with a 2-out version of his own, a solo shot here in the 5th. So Milwaukee takes a 4-3 lead. And now Adam Eaton will face Martinez. Eaton hits it over to Gordon. Gordon takes it on a hop, has to charge it because Eaton is a fast runner, but he gets him by a step, and that will be the 3rd out. So we close the bottom of the 5th. Milwaukee trading punches here with Pittsburgh, not backing down to the better team so far in the standings, and they're winning on the card. It's a 4-3 ball game. Brian Shaw will have to come out. He was pinch hit for. And it will be against the lefty trio. They're going to go get a lefty, and that will be Antonio Bastardo. So Bastardo will pitch to the top of the order here as we make yet another pitching change. This one is going to be a long game because Milwaukee's piecing it together. So far, it's done pretty well for them. And Brian Shaw went 1 clean inning. No hits, no anything, no strikeouts, no walks. And now Antonio Bastardo takes over. And this is a 4-8. And he walks D. Gordon. So you don't want to do that. Gordon walks, and it will be Didi Gregorius. Gregorius, that 3 column is pretty good regardless of lefty-righty splits. But even so, they are going to have to hold Gordon, and he's looking pretty antsy to go. So let's stat this out. It's a 1-17. They are holding him, so it's a 1-15. The catcher is Andrew Susek. or excuse me, James McCann, and he's a -2. So a 1-13. So D. Gordon is getting antsy, and he's going to take a jump, and he is thrown out just barely. The catcher, McCann, fires it over to the shortstop covering, and Escobar throws the tag down right on top of Gordon's head. And that is a caught stealing for the first out here. And the leadoff walk is erased. So a 1-13 chance, and he gets fired out by McCann. And now Bastardo walks Didi Gregorius. So Milwaukee not doing themselves any favors by just loading up on all these walks. Now Red Sox fan is checking out. It's bedtime for him. Thank you for being here. It was a lively live chat. Sorry I haven't been able to follow along too much. I see you guys are talking about stuff and having a good time, and I love it. So thanks for being here, Out Red Sox fan. I hope you enjoy listening while you're catching some Z's. Michael Brantley now against the lefty Bastardo. And it's a 5-5. And wouldn't you know it, 3 straight walks for Bastardo. Thanks for nothing, says Milwaukee fans. And I think you just have to go get him, don't you? I mean, you can't leave him out there. And Milwaukee's manager has shown already to have a quick hook. And they are going to go get him. Joakim Soria will be the new pitcher. Taking over here to face Jones, then Morales. And we'll see after that. So Joakim Soria comes in. Bastardo, he gets 1 out. Not even really thanks to him. It was a caught stolen base by D. Gordon. He walked 3 straight batters to start his day. And now Soria will face Adam Jones. The infield is back, just looking to get out of this to get a double play. Higher Ground Gaming saying goodnight to Al. I thought you were checking out there for a second, but you're sticking with us, so thank you for doing so. And this is a 6-10. That's a ballpark single chance. Defense is going to have to make a play, and they do. That's going to be a line out to the shortstop. So Escobar makes a fine play to keep a run off the board and keep that ball from exiting the infield. So now it's Kendrys Morales. And he is 1 for 1. He's got 2 walks on the day. And I'm halfway tempted with men on first and second just to walk Morales and go get Sin-Shu Chu. I know I probably shouldn't, and to put a man on third. Oh, man. But that's the one guy coming into this game that you don't want to beat you. But Milwaukee's going to show some faith in their bullpen here and let Soria pitch to Morales. It's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball, second base X chance. The defense is going to have to make the play. And Wilmer Flores is called into action again. Flores has been busy. He's a second base 4, and we rolled a 5. And he's not going to make the play. It sneaks past out into center field. Morales is going to have another RBI single as Gregorius rounds third. Brantley's going to make it to third base himself. And Morales ties this ball game back up at 4. A back and forth ball game, and we are tied again. The man, Kendrys Morales, doing it again. Oops. And let's see here. There's 2 outs. Morales drives in a run, and Joakim Soria is still out there. And he will face Sin-Shu Chu. Just looking to get out of this inning. It's a 1-5, and that's not going to do it. That's going to be a single out to center. Another run will score for Pittsburgh. That is Michael Brantley from third, who his aggressive base running to go first to third with that hit from Morales pays off. And now Chu has his second RBI single. And Pittsburgh comes right back to take a 5-4 lead. This game has lived up to the hype, and now Pittsburgh comes back out to take a lead. And Soria, Morales moved to second on that hit, so he's at second. Chu is at first, and Escobar will bat with 2 outs. All this damage coming with 2 outs. It's a strikeout for Escobar, so Soria finally able to get out of the inning for Milwaukee, who kind of imploded there in that inning after giving up 2 runs here in the 6th. We move to the bottom side. It's 5-4 now. Jerry Ball is playing a game here as well as we speak. After 6, he's got the 1911 Athletics 2 and the Hall of Fame Negro League Greats 0. So pretty cool you're playing along too here, Jerry. Now in the bottom of the 6th, Nick Martinez, will he get the chance to pitch here? Let's see. Pittsburgh's bullpen is not all that great. They could get Luke Hochevar to pitch the 7th. Maybe. We'll see. We'll let Nick start off the inning. If anything happens, we can double switch. Let's take a look at the bench. Yeah, we've got Gordon Beckham that can play third, so that may be the play here. They've got some arms warmed up in the bullpen. If anything that happens and Nick Martinez struggles, they're going to go get him. But he will get a chance to pitch to Donaldson, who walked and homered against him. And this is a 5-9, and oh no, Josh Donaldson puts a charge into this one. It's going to fly, and that one is gone. So, second home run of the day, and Pittsburgh probably shouldn't have left Nick Martinez out there. That's the 4th RBI on the day. The second home run for Donaldson, and the manager for Pittsburgh is second-guessing himself somewhat hard here. And now, what do? Do you go get him after that? It's a 5-5 ball game. Zimmerman is 0 for 2 against Martinez today. And shoot. Yeah, they're gonna let him pitch. They've let him come this far. They might as well let him keep going. And this one's lifted out to center, and that will be an out. So the center fielder Jones grabs it and makes the play. And now Wilmer Flores, who singled and bounced out to third. And here he is for the 3rd time against Martinez, and he hits one over to third again, and Escobar will make the play. There's 2 down now after that home run. This one has extra innings written all over it, doesn't it, guys? And now Eduardo Escobar is 0 for 2 today. The switch hitter is going to hit one to second, and D. Gordon is a second base 1, and he makes the play. So Gordon heads to his left. Makes it look effortless, really. And there's 3 outs. So after the home run, Martinez gets 3 quick outs. But not before Milwaukee ties it back up. It's a 5-5 ball game. Here going to the top of the 7th. Soria is not going to get the chance to come back out here. They're just flying through arms here. And they will get the lefty. Actually, you know what? They're going to let Soria pitch to the righty, Susak. It's the 8, 9, and 1 batters here. They're going to save the lefty until they get the top of the order here. So Soria will come out for his 2nd inning of work. He pitched 2/3 of an inning the last inning. And here he will face Andrew Susak. This is a 2-5 and gets Susak to strike out. So the 2nd punch out for Joakim Soria. And they will pinch hit for the pitcher, Nick Martinez. And it's going to be the switch hitting Ketel Marte. So with 3 straight lefties, they didn't want to go to a lefty off the bench. So they're going to the switch hitter, Ketel Marte, to pinch hit for Nick Martinez here in the 7th. Higher Ground Gaming hitting the hay. Hey, thanks for checking on in, Higher Ground Gaming. Appreciate you being here. And he's got me on the big TV. All right, the Amazon Fire TV. That's cool. Thank you for doing that. Joakim Soria pitches to Marte. He's stepped in from the left side. And this is a ground ball to short. That is Escobar. The middle infield for Milwaukee has been busy. Escobar is a 3-range shortstop. This might be a tough chance for him. A 3-4 is going to sneak on through, and that is going to be a hit for the pinch hitter, Ketel Marte. So a 1-out single, and Marte is aboard for the lefties of Gordon, Gregorius, and maybe Brantley. And that means there will be a call to the bullpen. They're going back to the bullpen to get a lefty, and it will be Enny Romero. So Enny Romero will bring his southpaw pitching delivery out to the mound. And we've got another pitching change for Milwaukee. The 6th one on the day. So Soria, he pitches 1 inning. He gives up 3 hits. He struck out 2 and did not walk anybody. Now we move to Enny Romero to face the lefties of Gordon and Gregorius. Gordon is 1 for 3 on the day. And this is a 1-5. He lifts this one to left field. The left fielder is Starling Marte, who glides over and makes the catch. And there's 2 away. So now it's Gregorius. And it's a 4-7. And Gregorius is going to hit one here. How far will it go? It's going to be a double. So lefty on lefty violence here for Didi Gregorius. It's a double with 2 stars. So actually a double 2-star, and actually that is not going to score the run. I got a little ahead of myself. A double 2-star will not score the run. Marte has to stop at 3rd. And so Gregorius gets a hold of one and puts one out to the wall. Marte stops at 3rd. And now it will be Michael Brantley. Michael Brantley against the lefty. Brantley's 0 for 2. He does have 2 walks on the day, though. Enny Romero looking to get a lefty out here. It's a 5-6, and that's not going to do it. That's going to be a double out to right field. Michael Brantley comes up big here, and that's going to be a 2-run scoring double. Gregorius is going to score from second. Marte scores easily from third. And Pittsburgh jumps out ahead again. This one off the bat of Michael Brantley, a 2-run double. And now it is 7-5. So really, Milwaukee's bats are doing their part, but the bullpen is just letting them down. Bastardo. What did he give up? Oh, he was way up there. He gave up 2 runs. Soria now, the book is closed on him. He gives up a run. And Eddie Romero, will he get the chance to face Adam Jones? Running out of arms in the bullpen. They've used Pinder, Shaw, Soria, Romero, and Bastardo. They have Jepson, Rondon, and Papelbon left. So they're going to let Romero pitch to Jones here. Man on second, 2 out. And Jones gets the pitch. And this one's going to be a dribbler out in front of the first baseman. That's Ryan Zimmerman. He scoops it up and steps on the bag. And that will end the top of the 7th. And I think we all need a little breather here from all the action that's been going on. 2 more runs scored in the top of the 7th for Pittsburgh. And they lead as we hit the stretch. It's a 7-5 ball game. But this one's not over yet, as Milwaukee, their bats have been pretty hot so far. We'll see if they can continue that. So the call to the bullpen will bring Luke Hochevar out. And Ken has a good question. How many pitchers do I carry on these teams? Well, I have, let me open my rosters file 1 second. I'm carrying for most teams. I'm carrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Most teams have 13 pitchers. That includes the starting pitchers. So there's usually about 6 to 7 in the bullpen. I'd say give or take 1. So they've got pretty full bullpens out there. So Luke Hochevar will come out, and he will face the lefty of Collins, McCann, and then the pitcher spot. So Nick Martinez's day is over. He's in line to get the win, though. And the righty Luke Hochevar will come out. Martinez went 6 innings. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits and 5 runs, all of them earned. He struck out. He didn't strike out many people. He only got one. He only got 1 strikeout. And he walked 1. He only walked 1. So a lot of balls in play for Nick Martinez. And Tyler Collins will get the first shot at Luke Hochevar. And it will be a 2-7. A 2-7. Oh, just missed a extra base hit there. That's going to be a fly ball out to left. And Michael Brantley, the man that just gave Pittsburgh the lead, makes the first out in the outfield here. So James McCann comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 2, like usual. And he will face Luke Hochevar. And he hits one weakly over to Gregorius at short, who makes the play. And there's 2 quickly down now. And it will be a pinch hitter. And who will it be? They've got 2 pinch hitters left on the... Well, they could pinch hit here and... do they want to pinch hit? Here's the question. Here's what I'm deciding here. I'll let you guys into my process. So I'm thinking I could pinch hit with Jesus Sucre, use our backup catcher, and then put the pitcher spot in the 8th spot to try and get him to try and get a pinch hitter earlier in the lineup for what could be more decisive later down the road. Or I could try and go for a big bomb now with either Trevor Plouffe or Evan Longoria. I think Sucre's card is not all that great. He's hitting 157, so that's an automatic out, really. I don't really want to have to use it if I don't have to. So I'm gonna punt here, and I'm gonna go with Trevor Plouffe. So Plouffe will come out and pinch hit here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. And Plouffe to face Hochevar. It's a 4-6, and he's going to get a hit. So look at the big brain on the manager for Milwaukee, and that's going to be a single, a 2-out single, and Plouffe is aboard. Now Starling Marte, who hit a home run in his last at-bat, he's 2 for 3 on the day, and Marte will look to tie this thing up. It's a 4-7, and he's not going to get the chance, and Hochevar walks him. So now the winning run is in the form of Adam Eaton, the lefty. He's 1 for 3 on the day, a single back in the 3rd inning. And this is a 6-6. Oh, this one's going to be hit out to the outfield. Eaton's got good speed. He's going to keep running. It is all the way to the wall. The runs will score. That's Plouffe will score from second. And Marte, with his good speed, is going to keep rolling, and he scores from first. That's a 2 RBI triple for Adam Eaton. And just like that, it is tied up again. Adam Eaton hits one where they weren't. And that is a big-time hit. A 2-run triple for Adam Eaton. And we are tied up again. It's 7-7 with 2 outs here. Hochevar can't hold the lead for Martinez. He's off the hook, I guess you could say, for the win. It's with 2 outs, now Josh Donaldson. And Donaldson, that's a ballpark single chance. Will this get the run home? A 1-8, and Milwaukee takes the lead. It's a 9, so just making a diving catch is the second baseman, D. Gordon, who saves the run and could save the game here. And that's the 3rd out. So I told you this one wasn't over yet. Whatever happens between these two, it has been a slugfest. And it is 7-7 as we move to the top of the 8th. And we pinch hit for Romero, so his day is done. And we have to go back to the bullpen. And so it will be Kevin Jepson. The 7th pitcher used on the day for Milwaukee. Romero, he went 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run, and he didn't strike out anybody, and he didn't walk anybody. But they go to Kevin Jepson, and it will be Morales, Chu, and Escobar to face him. Morales already has a pair of RBIs. He's 2 for 2 today. And against Jepson, he gets a 4-7. And this is going to be a single again. So Morales leads off the top of the 8th with a single. The third time he's been on board today, and that average just keeps going up. And now it'll be Sin-Shu Chu. They are not holding Morales, but this is a bouncer over to the second baseman, and second baseman Flores wheels, fires to Escobar, and Escobar over to Zimmerman. That is an easy 4-6-3 double play. About as easy as they come, with 2 slow runners, and Flores had plenty of time, and the turn was made easily, and a quick throw over to first, no problem. Now Jepson to Yunel Escobar. This is a 2-10, and it's a 2-out walk. So Jepson issues a 2-out walk, and it will be the catcher, Andrew Susak, who's 1 for 4 on the day with a double all the way back in the second inning. Can't pitch hit for Susak. There's no extra backup catcher. And it is a 5-4, and that's going to be a grounder over to the third baseman, Josh Donaldson. And he is a 1, I believe. Yes, he's a 1-range third baseman. So this should be a pretty easy play. A 117 is going to be made. No problem. Gets a nice juicy hop. The ball falls into his glove, and he tosses one over to first. So Jepson does his job and gets through the 8th unscathed. We reach the bottom of the 8th. It's a 7-7 ball game. Hochaver is going to be called back and will not be making it out for the 8th. Let's take a look at the Pittsburgh bullpen. With Zimmerman, Flores, and Escobar due, they will go to... See, this is the problem. Pittsburgh, they're good, but man, they in close games, their bullpen just leaves something to be desired here. And so I think they're going to have to go with Blaine Boyer. Blaine Boyer will try and keep this game right where it's at. And so Boyer will face the middle of the order here and take over for Luke Hochaver. Hochaver went a full inning. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He struck out nobody, and did he walk anyone? Yes, 1 walk. So now Boyer takes over, and Zimmerman looking to get that bat going. He's 0 for 3 on the day. And here you will face the new pitcher. It's a 1-8, and he will draw a walk. So Zimmerman aboard. He's not a threat to steal, and so he's going to be station to station. They're not even holding him. And Wilmer Flores now, he's 1 for 3. He's the man at the bat. It's a 1-5, and that's going to be a single right up the middle. Zimmerman advances to second, and Flores now is 2 for 4 on the day. Playing pretty well so far. Now it's Eduardo Escobar with men on first and second against the new pitcher, Blaine Boyer. And this is 2-3, and that's going to be a single. That's going to score a run. Zimmerman read it well, and he's on his horse and around third, and he will score 3 straight singles to start the inning here against Bloyer. And wouldn't you know it, Milwaukee takes another lead. This is getting late, though. Pittsburgh only going to have one more shot here. And now, runners on the corners, nobody out. Blaine Boyer not doing his job. And it's Tyler Collins up to the plate. And what do they do here with Boyer? I think... They have a lefty to burn. And they've got Capuano. They're going to go get him. So Capuano, knowing that the bench is pretty thin now for Milwaukee, and they can't really pinch hit anymore, they're going to go get a lefty, and it's Chris Capuano. So Bloyer doesn't even get an out. He walks one and gave up 2 hits. And so Capuano takes over for Bloyer. And I keep saying Bloyer. I think it's Boyer, isn't it? Yeah. Now, what do we do with the infield? Do we play him back, hoping to get the double play, or do we leave him in, hoping to cut off a run? I think they're going to have to cut off a run. So the infield comes in. Collins against the lefty. And this one has a chance to sneak through. A 1-10, and it does, and it does. So Collins with some lefty-on-lefty violence. That's a single, and that's going to score Flores from third. And Milwaukee adds an insurance run. And it is now 2, 4, 6, 8, 9-7. So now Capuano can't get the lefty, but he's going to stay on here and will face James McCann. Escobar is at second. On the RBI single from Tyler Collins. Now, Capuano faces James McCann, and this is going to be a home run against a normal power. He's normal against lefties. He's weak against righties. So James McCann with a 3-run bomb here in the bottom of the 8th and blows this one wide open. And Milwaukee kept punching and fighting and scratching through runs. And now they get a big shot here from McCann in the bottom of the 8th from the least likely of sources. And I can't believe it. James McCann. So a 3-run bomb. I'm having problems writing that down. And now they're going to go get their last pinch hitter, and that will be Evan Longoria. So Longoria will pinch hit for the for Kevin Jepson. Longoria takes over here. There's still nobody out. Capuano has given up 2 straight hits, and he may have to eat it here. And this one is going to be the first out. Longoria dribbles one over to Gordon, and he makes the play. So there's the first out, and the book will close on Jepson. Or excuse me, on Boyer. He gave up 3 runs, all of them earned. And we move to the top of the order. And it's a 12-7 game. This one has been blown wide open. So Marte, he swings and misses and strikes out. Capuano looks like he's settled down a little bit, and now there's 2 away. Pittsburgh, their dugout looks dejected as they've done the same. They've battled back and come back here against Milwaukee, and it's just all for naught now. As Adam Eaton hits one to second, and Gordon makes a nice jumping catch. And that will end the bottom of the 8th. But look at how many runs they scored in the 8th here. 5 runs. And they put up a crooked number, and this one is a formality now, it would seem. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, they go to the bullpen, and it will be Hector Rondon who comes on to try and, I guess you could say, close it out in a non-save situation. So the 8th pitcher used will be Hector Rondon. Jepson went an inning. He gave up a hit, no runs. He struck out nobody, and he walked one. And he is in line for the victory if Milwaukee can hang on here. But he'll have to face a pinch hitter, and then the top of the order. The pinch hitter will be Carl Crawford. The lefty Crawford looking to get something started here. In the 9th for Pittsburgh. And he will face Rondon. And that's a strikeout. Plus, it looks like, to add injury to insult, that Crawford has come up lame. And that will be an injury. That's going to be a 4-game injury for Crawford. Not a big loss for Pittsburgh. He's a bench player, but one less bat off the bench, I guess you could say. So that's going to be a 4-game injury for the veteran outfielder. So now Pittsburgh down to their last 2 outs, and it'll be D. Gordon. It's a 3-4, and that's going to be lifted out to left field. Marte tracks it down, and there will be 2 away. And now it'll be up to Didi Gregorius. It feels like the sails have come out from under Pittsburgh. But this one is going to be a hit for Gregorius. That's going to be a double. So his 2nd straight double for Gregorius. And nobody told him it was over. And now Michael Brantley. Brantley's got a pair of RBIs. He doubled his last time. And this is a 4-8. And Brantley will strike out to end the ball game. This one is over. And what a fun one it was. A lot of times when you hype up a game, especially in Strat, you know, you don't have a lot of control over the dice rolls and what happens. But this one lived up to it. And Milwaukee, showing why they are a team to be reckoned with. They come back, and I believe that's on 3 different occasions they came back and ended up with a crooked number in the 8th to take the victory. And man, what a game this was. Jerry, Ken, Al, Higher Ground Gaming. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, because that was fun. Player of the Game nominations, I'll take them now in the live chat if you're here with me, and I'll take them in the comments if you're watching here after the fact. If I'm looking through this, my player of the game, at a quick glance, Josh Donaldson had 2 home runs for Milwaukee with 4 driven in. Yeah, that might be it. I mean, none of them came super late. That was in the 6th inning when he hit a second one. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna give it to McCann. James McCann. He erased a D. Gordon stolen a base attempt and then hit the big 3-run homer. And we'll give the player of the game to James McCann. Quiet behind the plate for most of the time and came up big when they needed him. So I'm going to go ahead and tally up these stats here. You can feel free to stay and keep those votes coming. But if you're going to check out, I appreciate it. Before you do, make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like this game, if you like this series, and make sure you give me a thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter on the way out. So appreciate you being here, and let's get some numbers going. Rondon, he went an inning. He gave up 1 hit, no runs. He struck out a pair and didn't walk anybody. Jepson gets the win. And Capuano, he went an inning. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. He struck out 1 and didn't walk anybody. Boyer gets the loss. He didn't pitch it, and he didn't get 1 out. That's a much-deserved loss. So Jepson, I'm gonna have to check his record. Jepson, for Milwaukee, he does not have a victory yet. No record. He's got a save though, so he moves his record to 1-0. Boyer, on the other hand, let's take a look for him. Boyer is only pitched 1 inning so far this season, so he has no record. And so he drops to 0-1. What a fun game this was. I know it was a long game, but I hope you guys enjoyed it being here, and I'll go ahead and post this scorecard if you want to take an extra look over it on the Twitter page. Ken Castro, before we get out of here, says Donaldson is his pick for player of the game, but McCann is a good pick as well. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick in a game like this, but it felt like McCann's home run was really the dagger, so that's why I went with him. And that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. I need a breather after that one. That was fun. Like I said, Ash Wednesday, tomorrow, I will be doing that kind of stuff, so there will be no stream, but hope to pick it back up again, possibly Thursday, to finish the Game 7 here in the Game Day 15 of the KL. So until then, stay tuned to my Twitter, and I'll let you know when I'm going to stream next. And it's been fun, guys, and I thank you for being here. Take care.